I scrambled to my feet. Keep moving. The men were all up, and they ran after me, bent under the weight of their guns and ammo. Get us the hell out of here, someone cried. And so what do? They attack. So when you're pinned down, it's just another example. When you're pinned down, attack. And here's what it looks like. Back to the book. 2 of Kaiser's squads moved up in short bounds, while a third laid a base of fire. Cover and move. You're going to see cover and move all throughout this book, and every time we bring it up, I'm going to mention it, because I want to make sure everyone that's listening, those folks that are in the military, you hear it every single time. This is the first one of many. 2 of Kaiser's squads moved up in short bounds, while a third laid a base of fire. The first 50 yards went easily. Then the North Koreans popped out of cover and took us under fire. Suddenly the ground before us was scathed with torrents of bullets. Mortar shells whistled in and exploded along Kaiser's line. Corpsmen! Corpsmen! So if you don't know, a corpsman is a medic. In the Army, it's a medic. In the Navy, it's called a corpsman. And Navy corpsmen are the ones that go and deploy with the Marine Corps as medics. So that's when you hear those corpsman calls, that's what it is. Corpsman, corpsman, came a despairing wail. Ed Topple lurched up from prone position and ran toward the wounded man as enemy bullets spurted around him. Beside me, another man went down with a grunt and did not move. Fear slammed my gut once more, and I was flat on the deck. Nichols was down there with me. What do you want to do, Lieutenant? Nichols' plump young face, streaked with dirt and sweat, showed the same fear that had me in its terrible grip. Jesus, the boy depends on me. I forced my head up. That's a classic. What do you want to do, Lieutenant? I think I might have talked about this, but when I was in Sri Lanka and I was a young kid, and there was all those guys that were hardcore combat veterans. And one of the captains, Army captains, again, Sri Lankan Army captain who'd been in tons of combat. And I was talking to him, I was trying to garner information about war because I hadn't been in any, and he'd been in a ton. He was wounded and shrapnel in his face. And I'm talking to him, about it. And he said, when you're in a war, he goes, it's pretty easy to take care of yourself. You can take care of yourself. Like he said, if I was in a war, when we were in a firefight, if I just had to take care of myself, I'd be okay. But when you're in charge of everyone, it's totally different. And now all of a sudden, you got people saying, what do you want us to do, Lieutenant? And that's the pressure, which I will never forget him telling me that story. And that's a great example of it right there. Sure, he's scared. But he's got a mortar section waiting for him to tell him what to do, to save them.